right, enough of that countdown. We've been waiting long enough. Man, I gotta tell you, I love this Motu 828ES interface. It's great, but this has happened to me before. I want to say it's like once or twice a year. It just freaks out, and I have to like completely reboot and reset and do everything. I have all these like, I don't know. It's overcomplicated. I'm making things complicated for myself, and then it goes wrong, and then we end up here 45 minutes ish. What time is it? It's already 1:50. We're almost an hour late today, and doubly bad, I'm sorry, is that I can't really stay longer, so we're gonna have to make it short today. Thanks to all of you for being patient. I really appreciate all of you hanging out and waiting for me to get started today with this technical issue. Anyway, yeah, as Jean-Paul Bondi just said in the chat, I've got 10 minutes left to make a great track. No, I'm not. We could go more than 10 minutes. But yeah, let's not make this intro go on too much longer. I'm going to skip over the usual. Hello, everybody who's in the chat, and let's just get going, and we'll use the time we have. All right, what's up, everybody? It's Selway Techno Saturdays. We're running a little bit off schedule today. Again, thanks for being patient. My setup decided to just fail like right when it was time to go. I was like, what's happening? Where's the audio? Why is this interface freaking out? But we got it fixed. I got it reset up and everything. It just took a little while to make sure that it was solid. You know, I wouldn't want it to like do that again while we were in the show. And yeah, so if these things happen, it's life. Doing things live in the moment, things can go wrong, but we're on. So it's Techno Saturday, and a few weeks ago I was working on a track. I just started a track, and we were playing around with the new sort of granular capabilities of Phase Plant, right? So this thing. So I said, hey, maybe we'll bring it back and start working on it and arranging it and going forward with it. And so that's what we're going to do. In the remaining time we have, we're going to work on this a little bit more. But before we dive right in, it would be remiss if I did not mention, of course, that 343 TV is brought to you by 343 Labs Music Production School here in New York City and Berlin and online. And you know what to do to find out more. There's links in the description. And the big thing we've got going on right now is that we're developing and starting our first sort of year-long, more intensive program where you just come and you take all the classes and you get to go deep. And, you know, we have goals for you to meet. Like, we're going to make as many tracks as we can. I don't know, like put out some kind of an EP and put a live set together. And, you know, we're going to help you along the way and, you know, do mentoring and really like dive in if you're ready to just dive in deep. And, you know, cool, you could take a class here, a class there, watch a YouTube video here or there, hang out with us on the stream live every now and then. But, you know, maybe some of you are ready to really spend a lot of time and to really develop your skills and to just get yourself ready for, you know, more of a career, let's say. I don't know. Can we say that? But you know what I mean. This whole year program is warming up nicely, and we're getting, you know, it's going to be kind of international, right? Like, we've got students that are going to be going between New York and Berlin, or just going to be online, or both online and in person. You know, it's going to be kind of flexible that way. So just something to think about. Again, if you want to know more, you can check out the links in the description below. So, all right, due diligence done. Let's play around with this music. Also, forgive me if I don't like check on the chat as much since we've got a short amount of time. Let's just get in here and hear. Well, actually, let's make sure we can hear what's going on. Let's make sure that the audio is working. Luminous cloud, I am not going to make any doinks. No doinks today. We're kind of keeping it deep and groovy. Percussive, but a little bit of melodic element, as you'll hear. I like this groove. It's like kind of organic a little. So I don't think doinks are really going to work. I'm sorry. Thomas Till says the sound is terrible. All right, well, if that's the case and I need to go back and fix something. All right. I'm going to put my headphones on Maybe it's just a bad mix, Thomas. Okay. Not sure. You hear the sound from the mic. All right. Maybe I told you I had problems getting this going today. Maybe I spoke too soon. How's that? Is that better? I told you, man, my interface blew up. Is it back? Fantastic. All right. Man. Okay. We fixed it. But yeah, this groove. Kind of spacey, kind of organic, kind of deep. We'll see how much more pumping it gets. And then, you know, it's mostly just some basic percussion, some reverb, some effects. Some syncopated stuff going on with the kick. I was actually thinking about have a little bit of break like that. There's still a kick in there, but it's kind of in the background, right? And then how well this works. I mean, I want to keep this kind of stripped down and minimal and not add too much more to it. At least I want to get the arrangement going before I think about what else to add, because I want it to really center around this groove. So, you know, what's happening with the sound is it's this kind of percussive. I was experimenting with the granular engine, right? The new granular engine in Phase Plant. And then it's basically playing a chord. And I was playing around with the amount of modulation of this range. So as the grains jump around, they're getting tuned to a chord, and then the higher the range is, the more bright and the more high notes we're going to hear. And that's going to be most of the track right there, is just playing around with that. Okay. I lost the kick drum there. I lost the downbeat there for a second. Too much reverb on that hi-hat, but I like it. Mike Harding is saying the DAW sound is still not good. I thought we fixed it. Well, we're just going to roll with it. Again, we're not going to do the full hour today, I'm sorry, so we'll put up with what we got to put up with. All right, so that's what's happening. A lot of times for a track like this, I'll use automation or real-time control to kind of guide the arrangement. I kind of want to jam it a little bit. I could just go in and lay it all out, linear. But for more hypnotic, deep techno, I like to kind of improvise and sort of play with the knobs, as it were. Not necessarily like a hardware workflow because I'm in the box here, but even just using a trackpad or a mouse to like move the parameters around, just to have something to play with to give it a shape. And kind of like jam it out live a little bit. It's like I just want to play with this loop for a little while. So let's go ahead and just do that. I'm recording now. And then everything I do in the everything I do in the session view, any parameters I tweak, any sends I automate, any kind of sounds, any stuff that I play with is going to get captured in here. And I'm not going to worry too much about how perfect my arrangement is, because I can go back and fix it if I mess it up. And there's also, you can hear there's a little bit of modulation going on in that sound. Every now and then there's a little kind of variation. It sort of pops and is more percussive. And there's like a slow LFO in there that's doing that sometimes. Like that. You just hear that little accent. And I like to build set things like that into the groove. So even if you're not doing anything, it still sounds like something's happening. How long long has that been so far? I mean, 32 bars, and we could bring in the hi-hat. Why not? Really keeping this simple. Letting the sound just kind of bubble and do its thing. Okay. This is where I really should have... this always happens. I'm like, I need a MIDI controller today. Where is the MIDI controller? No idea. So I just moved that knob a little bit. Just to like do that chord up higher, and it was a nice variation. So let's try to do that again. Really simple. I don't know, let's bring in another. Maybe it was a little too much. I should have put it in the more simple version of that, but I'm not going to second guess myself. I'm just going to let it be what it is. Play around with that chord automation a little bit more. And the kick drum's been going for a little while. And now I can bring in this a little bit more. It's okay. I feel like I need another layer of energy though soon. Something has to change. Like the more quickly I build it up, the more there needs to be happening. It could also be some of that stuff. I don't mind that. I feel like I can't go up too much farther. It's gonna get a little too bubbly. I don't know. All right, so that's like obviously the timing of that was not good, but the idea is there, and I can go back and edit, fix it, or fill in stuff that needs to be there. I have this noisy clap thing. Let's see what happens if I bring that one. Probably too quiet. Yeah. That could have snuck in a little earlier rather than just started like... But also the mix is maybe not quite right. Maybe the kick drum could be louder. I don't know. That automation, the mix automation, I'm not recording right now. Actually, now that I think about it, I might not have been... Uh-oh. I just realized that. This is something, you know, it's a teachable moment. If you're going to do this kind of recording in the arrangement with automation, make sure that button is on. So that's a mistake that I shouldn't make. So all of this stuff I was doing, that's all lost now. I have to go back and do it again. Kind of like that breakdown. How long have I been recording for? Like, this track should be over by now. I mean, it's so simple, it doesn't need to be longer than like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. All right, so I'm not gonna totally wait, even though I forgot to engage the automation. So I didn't record any of that tweaking. I don't care. We're just gonna let this be the structure, and then we'll go back and do the automation and the arrangement view, rather than waste time recording it all again. All right, that's gonna be the end. We're gonna fix this. We're just sketching the outline, right? Like, I just want to get a shape down that, you know, we can use as our structure and then refine from there. Interesting with the echo at the end there. All right, so that was a little rough, but that's okay. I'm just trying to rescue this stream today. We started off so off kilter with my audio interface freaking out on me. Okay. So that whole thing, anyway, you get the concept, right? The idea is that it was, I'm bringing parts in and out. Sometimes I don't even do that. Sometimes I'll just let the kick drum, just use the kick drum and the synth only. And then let the synth or whatever that part is that's being varied with automation and tweaking, like let that define the structure and then go in and add stuff. But in this case, just to like kind of save even more time, I started, you know, throwing in the other percussion elements just to get an idea. And I think the whole idea, you know, for me, breaking out of the loop and forcing yourself, because a lot of times it's hard to decide when should I make these changes. And, you know, if you've got a groove going, whether you're working with hardware or just, you know, it's the same kind of concept. There's just a bunch of loops going, right? And you're bringing things in and out and you're tweaking the sounds and you're changing parameters in real time. Just kind of don't even worry about it. Just hit record and see what happens. And don't worry about performing perfectly. Just like let it happen. You can always go back and kind of fix it. You might discover happy accidents along the way. Like, oh, I didn't mean to do that, but it sounded cool. Like, and then you have it. You might not have ever done that if you didn't try and see what happened. So now I got to fix this, right? I recorded it. I was supposed to record it with automation, but I forgot to turn this button on, the automation arm. So it didn't capture any of it. So now, you know, let's do that. Let's make sure we're looking at oh, no, it did get some of it. I am so off my game today. Never mind. All right. Forget what I said about the automation. Rewind. Let's go back to the beginning and listen. And see what we need to do to fix this, to make it a little bit better. Now, I am going to since I did actually end up recording volume automation changes, I want to get rid of those. So let's delete those. Good. And maybe it takes a little bit too long for stuff to happen. I like that little rim shot happening, but maybe it happens a little too often. So let's make it every 2 bars instead of every bar. Drop them in there sometimes. So now we're kind of switching over to more linear arranging flow. Yeah, I'm not even sure that needs to be there. What happens if we bring this little hi-hat in earlier? I'm okay with that. That little rim shot I did not mind, but we're going to leave that all by itself. Okay. And here comes the hi-hat, the main hi-hat. Wait on that rim shot. louder now because it's just not since it's not happening regularly, it can just stick out sometimes. And here we go with the Now, I liked that little thing. I try to do this and not stop too much because I want to get into the groove as if I'm still jamming. But I like that little thing, so I'm going to have that happen again sooner. Because I spaced them out more when I was playing around live, playing around in real time. Now we have another. That one, remember, I wasn't sure about that. Let's see how we feel about that. What happens if we get rid of the hi-hat? Nope. That's the wrong one anyway. Whoa. Maybe I am okay with it just having it go here. I mean, it's already 2 minutes, right? We do want to be getting some more energy going. Maybe it's just a little bit loud. This I like. But maybe I want that change in the chord or the melodic percussion to be a little bit more full on and right away. Because I like this pattern. So maybe I should just do that. Just straight away and not be like easing into it. So yeah, you can just cut and paste automation like you would clips. All right. Not sure about that either. It's got just that one little part has a lot of energy. Like when you take it away at the wrong time, it maybe feels like it loses something. Or maybe I need to add something there. I'm gonna let it go for now. And let's also get rid of that rim shot. Let's see, Oxygen Levels Critical said this is Phase Plant doing the bongos. It's like the melodic percussion, yeah. And I have to be really careful about automating that chord amount because like the groove changes so much. Oh, that was kind of cool. Just to have a little bit of a, at the very end of that section, have it kind of freak out a little bit. Down. Maybe too much. Now see, it should be up a little bit. This is a good pattern. What else can I do to this sound while it's playing that's not just the chord thing? I mean, it's kind of a dark, like it doesn't, the sound doesn't ever get bright and big. Could play with the amount of reverb. It's kind of underwater sounding as it is. There's also the can see there's the grain positions moving around. So I can get a little bit noisier later on, which is kind of cool. That's actually good. There's the grain envelope length. As it gets fuller. Might get a little messy that way though. These are all other things I could think about automating. That gets really crazy when it's long and noisy like that. Getting stuck. You hear me getting stuck? I'm like, what's going on? All right, I'm just listening right now. And I'm just feeling, is it hypnotizing me? Is it sucking me in? Play with this. Let's see what happens. When the kick drum comes back is a little bit more sub. I'm okay with that. All right. Where's that up main hi-hat in terms of reverb? I'm going to back up a little bit. And let's give that some variation. Okay. Had the wrong track, but I like that anyway. I might have been squashing the transient of this hi-hat a little bit too much. A little bit sharper, backing up on that threshold a little bit. So I had the idea, maybe I want to just do that typical 909, like controlling the decay of the hi-hat thing right there, but this is a sample. So maybe I can, I could just, this is like just a pretty generic closed hi-hat sample. Maybe I want to replace this with something where I can play around. It's got a little bit more to it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go into the live 909. Closed hi-hat rack instrument. Yeah. I want to have this, I'm trying to, this is kind of hardware style groove where I'm not having a lot of different layers, but I'm controlling each one, by tweaking the sounds. So like now that's a little heavier there because the decay is longer. A little scrapey sounding. Maybe I want to thin it out. Take out some of the lows from, high pass that sound a little bit. Still too much reverb maybe. Like variations in the drums. feel like this could be more velocity sensitive. I want there to be more of a difference between the high and the low one, which we can fix pretty quickly right here. Yeah. Bring the volume down a little bit. It's sort of more bouncy now. I like that. How much you can do just with playing with a hi-hat, it's amazing. All right, in this part, it's doing that little ghost note, but now a little bit shorter. And it's the groove is changing nicely with the more busy synth on the top. Where's the kick drum? All right. Rather than cut the kick drum out for a long time there, like I did before, let's have it come back in. But I'm gonna get, I've had these extra syncopated ones there the whole time. Let's get rid of those and have it just be more straight. And then I originally had it at about 48% on the decay. Okay. Where did we bring in the clap, the noisy clappy thing? Maybe this should, okay, I remember I thought about it, maybe it could sneak in instead of just starting in. Let's see. Not sure about that. What can we do to this? This was kind of, I remember this was kind of a questionable sound when we first tried this out. Maybe tighter is better? How does it sound if we start like this? Start low and then sneak it up. Not sure, but I'm just going to roll with it for now. I didn't mind that little kick drum drop out there. That was kind of cool. Also playing around with the decay. I don't know. Do I want it to just start and be strong from the beginning? All right, let's try. Just gonna get rid of that automation altogether. Oh, I forgot to there's this automation going on where it just kind of drops down before the kick drum comes back. Let's listen to this section, actually. that change right there. It's funny, it's these subtle little things. Here, like the syncopation changes, and that could be cool at the right moment. But in this case, I'm just gonna put it back to that lower level, and then we'll see what happens here. That's a little better. One more, and then it should come back. Let's duplicate that over. Whoops. Cut and paste automation like clips. All right, that needs to go back here. Yeah, there we go. Something else should drop out there too. I think I'm just gonna let this come in bright. Why not? It's a new thing. I like that. We're trading some hi-hats for the clap, the filtery weird clap. And maybe also we go back to a shorter closed hi-hat. It's shorter 909 closed. There's some other closed hi-hats in here. Where's the faster one? That one. Should put that one back. That could be good. I want it to be a little shinier. A little. Oh man, I say I want it to be shinier, but it's already really bright. Maybe it needs like a flanger on it or something to be trippy, sweeping around, stereo. All right, that wasn't right. That wasn't right, the timing of that, was it? That was kind of cool. Accidentally. Happy accidents. Too high. Let's try this. I think I like it better rolling lower. So that level we were at here. Might go back to that one because I kind of like it. Okay, we're gonna fix this, I promise. Got to find the right variation. That was not so bad. Hey, Penrose Conjecture. Yes, I do remember making a record with Bill Youngman, of course. I'd like to get Bill on the show again. That'd be great. He's a good old pal, fun to talk to, has some cool ideas to share. All right, where am I? I'm getting distracted. I like this part. Just back down to the lower pattern and then the claps come in. Oh, we've forgotten about the rim shot all this time. Maybe this is where it should come back in. Need to mix that differently. It's sort of buried, isn't it? I'm not going to worry about it right now, though. No. This needs to stay low here. I like it. Come on, can I just please copy that? Thank you. There we go. I think we need this, the energy should stay up here. Okay, easy fix there is more hi-hats. More bright stuff. And then, bringing that up. All right, so you can tell sometimes when I stop and start, it goes out of sync. So reset it to make sure it's starting from the first beat. Going to happen next, I wonder. Hi-hats are going to change. Oh, you know what? We could do that. We could bring up the bass of the decay of the kick drum again here. Depending on the mix and how this translates in the sound system, just that extra bit of sub on the kick drum could do a lot. Doing a gradual increase of the complexity of those chords. Too much jumping around. I think we're going to break it down here. And maybe we're going to just, this is the end. This is the end. Why not? All right, got to get this transition just right. Let's hear it from the beginning of that section. Could be playing around with the clap. Another thing that we could get crazy with is the reverb on there's a vocoder doing noise on that clap. All right, so this needs to be finessed, but this could be like a nice moment to have that clap kind of with the vocoder noise get a little bit crazy there in that section. Anytime I feel like something needs to happen in the groove, I go in and change some automation on something. Maybe a little too soon. That's a bit too much. All right, that still needs work, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to make this work. What happens if that just stays up? Is that gonna be, because we haven't done that the whole track. What happens if this just stays up on those high notes right here where everything else drops out? And I might have to do some like mixing tricks and adding effects and I don't know, like making it something different, more transformed into some, I don't know, we'll see. Kind of bringing the decay down on the open hi-hat. Still a little too much on that. No, it's too. It's every time I've done this, it's funny. Every time I let it, those chord kind of melodic percussion stay up high, it was like too much. Right? The groove works better when it's lower and more integrated with the drums. It's okay in this, you know, again, I need to finesse it, but I don't mind it here because it's like supposed to be a little more crazy. And, you know, we're spinning around on the carousel here. That's just better. I'm actually gonna, let's also get rid of those syncopated kicks and just have it be more straight here. Okay. Should we leave the hi-hat in, maybe? I don't know. There's this one. It's more simple, which I haven't really used, I think. Oh no, that's the fast one. No, that's not good by itself. What about... No claps. I feel like I'm missing something. Is it this one? Yeah, it's that one. Forgot about that. That should have come in. That should have come back sooner. I like how sharp and crisp that one, this particular hi-hat is. What if we switch back to this one instead of getting rid of it? Yeah. I feel like I'm off the grid a little bit. I might have made some of these sections too short or too long. That's something I'm going to have to fix later when I go over the whole structure and look at the big picture. Yeah, that's okay. Here. This is good. Real short hi-hat right there. Yeah, it's like right there with the kick and, you know, the closed hi-hat right on the quarter notes. And then we could do... I like that. And we just slightly build it up again one more time before we end it. Maybe that's too much. What if we take some of the automation from this part and do it here? It's kind of echoing how it starts. I like that. Drop the kick drum out, and we're just going to make this the end. I don't think this needs to be longer than 6. It should be less than 6 minutes. That's going to be it. Yep. Okay. That's how long my track is. I mean, this could be almost done. It depends on how raw and underground you want to be. Like, if you think of this as like, you know, there's plenty of tracks that people do that are like just live jams and they just record it and then that's it. It is what it is. But yeah. So I mentioned because of my schedule today and we've got it started so late, I wouldn't be able to do the full hour. I mean, I guess we almost have done an hour, so it's not too bad, right? It's about 45 minutes. We might have to revisit this one again. I feel like there's more to be done. And again, the whole concept was like starting with these loops and then try to get to an arrangement as quickly as possible. Like, you know, in less than an hour, I have an arrangement with a lot of stuff going on just with a few parts. This whole time I've been thinking about what could I add, what's missing. And I haven't been, interacting with you guys in the chat that much today, but I'm watching and I'm reading what you're saying. And so, I'll take those things into consideration when I work on this again. Cause yeah, I feel like it needs at least one or maybe two more elements to give it some more dimension. It could be good as it is, just as like kind of deep hypnotic DJ tool, but also I could add some ear candy or some kind of other musical element, or just to make it more than just a track, right? Right now it's just a track. That's going to be kind of the next level, is like, what can take it a little bit deeper, a little bit higher in terms of like where it goes. So I've got to run. Apologies again for the technical issues today and getting started so late. I really appreciate all of you hanging out and being patient and being here in the chat. And you guys are talking about all sorts of cool stuff. And I will see you next time. Have a good week.